Hi everyone. So this video is going to be slightly longer and an important video because here I'm going to be talking about the top 10 differences between generative AI versus agentic AI. As you know, these two technologies are now running simultaneously, and what was now just about generation of content is now actually getting trained on agents, right? And these agents do simultaneous tasks simultaneously, basically, right? They do multiple tasks simultaneously. So top 10 differences. The primary purpose of generative AI is to produce content, text, images, code on demand, and an LLM writing an essay based on a given topic, image generator, video generator, and so on. That is generative AI, right? Now, agentic AI achieve objectives by taking actions over time in service of goals. So the primary difference is you're feeding goals to AI agents that are actually, doing the job, right? Okay, so some examples is an agent booking flights and coordinating calendars for a business trip, a financial agent managing investment portfolios to meet a specific return target. So if you think about it, it is literally like an employee working for an organization who has been well fed with all the goals, all the targets that is expected of the person, all the responsibilities that is expected of a person. So just like how you teach an employee that you are supposed to do this in the office, an agent is literally like replacing the employee itself, right? So there are benefits, as well as, it is a little scary to actually look at what these agents can do. But yes, this is one of the primary difference. Now coming to autonomy and decision making. The primary difference is generative AI largely reactive, acts on user prompts, limited autonomous choices. As you know, you are literally writing, giving it prompts. It's just, whatever you are asking it to do, it is discussing back with you, it is asking you questions and then doing it. Chatbot, replying to user queries based on pre-trained knowledge. Example again, okay, a text to speech generator converting text provided by the user. Simple, right? Simple use cases. Whereas agentic AI, it's about makes autonomous decisions, which means it also has decision making capabilities. It prioritizes tasks, can act without constant user prompts. Why? Because you have trained the agent in such a manner that it already knows what you're doing. So an agent initiating software updates when system requirements are met, a home automation agent adjusting room temperature based on time and occupancy. So these are simple agents, doing just one task at a time. But you can have multiple agents for multiple tasks, or you can have even one agent do all the tasks also. So literally, it depends on how much training you provide to one particular agent for it to do tasks. So the third difference, goal orientation, agency. Generative AI goal equals to produces plausible valuable content for the prompt, right? So whatever prompt you're giving, based on that, whatever makes sense to generative AI, it just produces the output accordingly, and you keep changing the prompt, the output also changes. An image generator creating requested art like a portrait of a famous person, code generator writing a Python script, etc. Okay, simple, fairly simple. So agentic AI definition, goal equals accomplishing explicit objectives. So you are basically in agentic AI training the agent on a specific process. It is not focused on a task. It is focused on the goals, which is a combination of multiple tasks related to a particular family of tasks, basically. Okay, so complete workflow, optimize metrics, etc. So some examples: an agent iteratively optimizing ad spend to maximize conversion rates, a supply chain agent ensuring timely delivery of goods by coordinating with suppliers. So as you, one primary example that I can give you, for example, when you're using generative AI, you're giving one prompt and the output you're getting immediately. Then you're giving another prompt, output you're getting immediately. But here, you've trained the AI agent, and even when you're not around, the AI agent is working constantly. So you see, it's literally replacing a complete person, literally. Okay, interaction pattern and statefulness. Generative AI, often stateless or short context, each prompt yields outputs. As I said, you just tell it once and it does it. Single prompt summarizer, a language translation tool, translates a single sentence without memory of previous translations. Yes. So as you know, for example, even we are using ChatGPT, if you ask it to write, like say, for example, three blogs, okay? You're giving one blog, and after that is done, you ask it to write another blog. What it will do, the second blog will be different from the first one, and sometimes the third one will be totally different. Why? Because does not carry a memory there, right? But here, it maintains memory, long running context, and multi step dialogues or processes, which literally means, at least for a daily task kind of a thing, you can build an agent which say you program it for 8 hours a day, right? So for those 8 hours the agent will keep working. Of course it can work for 24 hours, but I'm just giving an example that if you train an agent from X time to X time, right? Instead of a person, it will keep working. So you can see how beneficial it is and how dangerous it is in both ways. An agent that remembers past user preferences under sessions like a shopping assistant, a customer service agent handling a complex issue over multiple interactions. So, okay, these are like some common examples, and these are some very useful examples. But on the other hand, as it's very clear, more job losses, right? More job losses, surely, because you can train an AI agent, right? Why would you require somebody to give a salary? So you can just hire one person who monitors all the agents, and that's it. Anyway, so generative AI definition outputs content only, limited or no direct system and world effect, right? Okay. Examples: text generation model, music composition AI. Fairly simple. All of us have been using it. Even if you're completely new, you have no idea about AI, I'm sure you've tried this, right? So generative AI is as simple. Now, agentic AI senses environment, okay, APIs, devices, executes actions that change state. So literally, agentic AI reads your code, reads your vibe. I'm sorry, not the code, right? So that's why it's called vibe coding. One of the most happening things right now is vibe coding. Okay, VIBE. It's really literally reading your senses, right? Literally reading the vibe of the current situation, current environment, APIs, devices. Of course, this is the sense of your laptop, but I'm sure there are more ways of reading vibes, right? It also means whatever the user is feeding, his or her vibe is also literally fed into that agent. So examples: an agent that updates a database with new customer information, a smart home agent controlling devices like lights and thermostats. So whatever inputs you provide, however you train it, it can do a much more deeper job. The agentic AI is much more deeper, and it can work for longer durations. Okay. Planning and execution. No explicit planning or execution pipeline beyond prompt chaining. Simple, right? An LLM completing a single response to a question, a text generator creating a product description based on a single prompt. So again, we discussed this. Agentic AI has planning, task decomposition, scheduling, monitoring, recovery. So it's not just a bot, but it's a bot with a brain, bot with a heart, bot with a only the soul is missing as of now. Examples: an agent breaking a project into tasks and running them like a project management agent. So you see, a project manager could be completely replaced by this agent actually. A logistics agent planning and executing the delivery route for a package. So which means a logistics executive manager can be completely replaced, right? So again, I'm not saying that all the jobs are going to go away, but the point is, again, what is the investment cost, right? What is the training cost, duration of the training, etc., will decide how many people our company is going to replace actually. And this is why you see all the job losses happening very fast. So agentic AI has now come out in public, and it's kind of, the curiosity around is growing day by day. But companies have already invested, like, great, big money on this, right? And they're not telling you, basically, as simple as that. Okay, so agentic AI is really, the thing right now. Okay, architecture and components. Core is a generative model transformer with possible fine tuning or safety layers. GPT style model, DALI style, etc. Okay, it's fairly simple again. If you've used generative AI, chat GPT, you'll understand what this means. Agentic AI combines models with tool interfaces, planners, memory, observability, executors. You see, the entire structure of how you would run an organization is fed into agents already, and they understand from phase to phase to phase, time to time to time, time, space, energy, dimensions, right? They're completely fed with all the knowledge that's required to cover all these four aspects. Examples: a multi-component agent framework with a planner, memory, and tool set for financial analysis. Agent system for industrial automation with sensors, controllers, and a decision-making engine. These are just very simple examples. Agents, you can create AI agents for literally every single thing in an organization. And that's what organizations now want to do. They want to train agents and just have one person to monitor all of them. So generative AI, typically trained offline, adaptation, sorry, via fine tuning or prompt engineering. We know this, right? So a model fine tuned on a specific data set using prompt engineering get better results from a language model. So you keep improvising on the prompt and the output will keep changing. It's one time. Now, definition often designed to adapt online, learn from interactions, update strategies over time. So this is where the trap is, right? Your AI, whatever you're using, especially if you're using a plus or a pro version, or the deeper information that you feed into it, the more vividly, the more detailed it knows you. And that can be really dangerous because it knows every single thing about you, right? If you're communicating with a bot for at least 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to 1 year, the more you communicate with it, it gets to know you as a person. It's literally like a marriage, right? The other person gets to know this person more and more with time. So that's exactly what an AI agent is. Examples: an agent that updates its policy from task outcomes, like a trading agent; customer support agent learning from past interactions to improve service. Okay. So these are just examples, but yes, agentic AI is much, much more deeper. Evaluation and success metrics evaluated on fluency, relevance, creativity, okay, and human ratings. These are some examples: measuring the perplexity of a language model, getting human ratings for the creativity of an image generated, and so on. Agentic AI, evaluated on task completion, efficiency, reliability, safety, user satisfaction over time. And this is why you see many of the review platforms now, okay, very closely they are very closely monitoring all the reviews every channel receives. They're removing off the reviews which look like fake. It's very easy to identify what is fake and what is real here, because the evaluation of the success, okay, success metrics is much more deeper, much more broader, and it's not easy to fool the AI agent, okay? Calculating the percent of tasks successfully automated, measuring user satisfaction with the home automation agents perform. These are just examples. Okay, next, safety, alignment, and control. Uses filters, content policies, moderation, fairly simple. Content moderation, image outputs to prevent inappropriate comment. Filtering text outputs to avoid offensive language. Yes, I tried this last year, okay? I tried using some bad words to AI and see what it does, and it fairly refused to speak to me after that. Yeah, for a while. It clearly told me that I don't, speak that kind of a language. Now here, it requires stronger constraints, authorization, sandboxing, oversight, and fail safes, okay, to prevent harmful actions. I don't know the technicality behind this, but definitely the constraints would be, more deeper, which is a good thing, which is a good thing for sure. But if those constraints are followed or automatically crossed, right, it anyway knows everything about you. So again, there is no requirement of a constraint or a validation here at all, because anyway this agent is getting created to replace a human, right? That itself is a very big risk in itself. So that itself is enough to finish the person basically, right? Because his or her job is now out of the way. Okay, examples: agents needing role-based permissions to access certain systems, having a kill switch for an agent in case of malfunction. So yes, so definitely the possibility of errors would be reduced because the machine is perfect. It knows the subject better than a human, right? Humans are prone to erring basically, right? Prone to errors. But a robot definitely is better because it's, as you see, just you write a blog yourself, and then you ask chat gpt and chat gpt plus to write a blog, and you'll know the difference, and it'll do such a brilliant job, right? So agentic AI is even more deeper, and it literally is a kill switch. Yeah, that's a right word. Basically, it is literally a kill switch. Okay. Then hybrid cases: generative models used as components inside agentic systems, like a text generating module in a customer service agent, an agent using a generative model to create reports as part of its task completion process. Okay, so these are just some examples of overlaps. And in when it comes to agentic AI, right, the overlaps will depend on what you have trained it on. For example, you're going very, very deep with one particular task itself, and the goals and the milestones and the vibes behind it, right? So the training is much more deeper for an AI agent, right? But it's not necessary that one AI agent should not overlap, in multiple functions. But yes, there is a chance that it might get confused. So always better to create multiple agents, that have separate goals, separate milestone targets, and they kind of do things that are completely targeted. So for example, I'll give you a small example. Like for example, you have a HR department, right? In an HR department, you have one person handling the payroll, one person handling the training and development, one person handling like say the performance reviews, right? One person handling the employee feedback. There's one more person who must be handling like say the legal and compliance. So within HR itself, these are five different roles, right? Or six different roles. So likewise, for these six different sub niches within the niche, right, you can create six different AI agents. And if you want to go further deeper, sub niche within a sub niche within a sub niche, you can do that as well. So entirely depends on how the agent is planned, how the agent is trained, what are the goals assigned to the agent, and how well the agent is able to perform it. So obviously, the one advantage that we have right now is the time, right? The more time you take to train an agent, the more jobs that will be secured. Secured, as simple as that. But how long again, right? So if an organization is taking like 1 year to train an agent, which is an HR generalist, that means for that particular role, there is a job position in that organization only for 1 year. And as soon as the agent is ready, the person will be asked to leave. That's it. So I'm not being pessimistic here, but I'm telling you the risks of it, right? So on the one hand, it's a great thing that we're coming up with these kind of tools. But again, and definitely there is a necessity for everyone, first of all, to be aware of this, aware of these differences, aware of understanding the core difference between what the AI is doing, what I am doing, and it is not possible to compete with AI. Okay, because the training goal milestone also the AI is giving, the generative AI is giving us all the inputs to be fed into the agent, right? The output is the only thing which you have to specify, and agentic AI gives it anyway, right? Which a human may or may not be able to do. So a human, as I said, is prone to erring, right? But a machine can be far more perfect unless and until the training is incomplete. So how far we are going with this, it's really, we just have to wait and see where we are going with this, right? So I hope this video was informative. If you found this informative, just post informative in the comments below. Okay, just post informative. Thank you.